Hello everybody, welcome to Tpull's Corner. We've got a new deck for you. Let's see, I think we need to choose a color, and let's choose a black monosource. I don't have a 2-drop, so down the marsh now. The name of this deck is called the Glamour Thief, and Cormela Glamour Thief is what it's built around. So let's see if they have counter spells and are willing to spend them, or if they're gonna do some searching or scrying or looking through their deck. Fading Hope, okay. Sometimes I wonder why they bother, because that's only a 1-power creature. Are they intelligently getting exactly the tempo that they want and need? Or was that just the only choice of a spell that they had available, so they're just using what they got? Usually the way that they do this, they don't miss their land drops. Let's see what else they've got. If they counter this, we still got a flashback version of it, so that's not that bad a deal. Counter target creature spell. We'll take that. And then we're just going to attack. Vesuvan Duplicacy. This card has been the bane of my existence today. What do we want to do? You're mostly tapped out, aren't you? So we're going to be done. You need to put a creature out in order to buff it up. And I stole your Essence Scatter and you don't know it. Let's steal your life. Fading Hope. Okay. She comes back down. I have 1 mana left, which is exactly what I need. Impulse to go look for something. Yeah, the Fading Hope gives him the tempo. The Impulse lets him search through his deck for exactly what he wants. Aha! That's a good choice to use with Vesuvan Duplicacy. Automatically uses my 1 mana source to tap Cormela, get the 3 mana, and use 2 of it for his own Essence Scatter. And yeah, that was fun for us. Okay, so we're going to take you in and show you the whole deck now. And if you're new here, remember to like and subscribe. All the subscribe will do is let you know when I publish a new video. And since I have a full-time job, I'm not always consistent. Sometimes I do one every day. Sometimes it could be 2 or 3 days before I get to it. So subscription just lets you keep track. Anyway, Cormela, Glamour Thief. That's the name of the deck. We've constructed it around her. She's a 2/4 legendary rogue from New Capenna. Vampire rogue, that is, with haste. If you have 1 spare mana when you bring her down, you can tap her for an extra 3 mana, 1 each of blue, black, and red. You can only use it for instant or sorcery spells. And when she dies, you get an instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard that comes back to your hand. Excuse me. If you only have one of those instant or sorceries in your graveyard, there's no choice. It just automatically pops back up into your hand. Okay, so we built the deck around instants and sorceries and have a lot of creatures in here that will either help the instants and sorceries be cast or that benefit from instants and sorceries. We have 68 cards. Instead of 24 lands, we have 27. So we added in 3 lands to help us with the other 5 that we added. 19 creatures, which is normal for my decks. And average mana cost 2.9, just below the average 3. So we're looking good. The instance, what I did was I put 4 Volsci Tide Turners in there. Merfolk Wizards, you can add a blue mana. You can spend it only for instant or sorcery spells or a kick spell. So I've got a lot of kick spells. And the kick spells all have blue mana needed. So if I have trouble if I run into trouble having land, if I've got at least 1 Tide Turner out, I should still be able to kick the spells, which is really what's needed for the deck to work. So we've got 3 of them, right? We've got Rona's Vortex, Fires of Victory, and Phyrexian Espionage. With Rona's Vortex, when we kick it, the target creature planeswalker goes to the bottom of the owner's library, so I consider that pretty good removal for the duration of the match. Other 3 removal, 3 Fires of Victory. When you kick it, you draw a card, so it replaces itself. And 2 Phyrexian Espionage, which you draw 2 cards, so that card replaces itself. If you kick this one, which isn't the most important, each opponent discards a card. So these are the 5 cards I added to make it 65 cards, and then I pumped in 3 more lands to sort of account for that. But it should work out just pretty well. Let me go through the rest of the drops. I've got, for the 1-drops, 2 Battlefly Swarms. They're flying Death Touch chump blockers in case we come up against a lot of flyers. 1 Cut Down for removal. 1 Dread Fugue so I can see what they have in their hand. 2 Go for the Throats for more removal. 1 Electrostatic Infantry, so he gets a +1 counter every time we cast an instant or sorcery, so we hope to get him early. Smoldering Egg, 0/4 Defender. Get a little Ember counter on it for each each amount of mana spent to cast an instant or sorcery spell. Once you get 7, it transforms into the Ashmouth Dragon you see to the right. After that, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, the dragon can deal 2 damage to any target you decide. 1 Siphon Insight. This, half the time I use just to make my land drops by stealing land from their library. But it has flashbacks so we can cast it twice and get something else good later. Academy Wall, 0/5 wall. It's a defender. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you can draw a card. If you do, you discard. You can only do it once per turn, but if the game starts to drag on and I start flooding out with land, this is a good thing to have on the field whenever you cast a spell. Vadric, Astral Archmage, legendary wizard from Innistrad. It triggers the day-night. Whenever the day-night is triggered, he increases his, you get a +1/+1 counter on him. And correspondingly, the instant and sorcery spells you cast cost less, depending on his power. So if I've got a 8 mana spell and his power becomes 3, it's a 5 mana spell. So that's cool. 4 Maestro's Charms. This is from New Capenna. We've got 3 choices, 1 for each of the colors, really. We can have them lose 3 life and we gain 3 life. We can deal 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Or we can look through our library and put 1 of the cards into our hand and the rest into our graveyard. We don't mind if we have to come across an occasional instant or sorcery using the search spell here, because if we lose Cormela, we could get that spell back into our hand anyway. Also, we have 1 copy of Ardent Elementalist, who, when she enters the battlefield, you return a target instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. So depending on the order of things, if we do have to look at 5 cards and we lose a good sorcery or instant because we have a card we just absolutely have to take among the 5, we could get it back with the Ardent Elementalist. So it could take a little bit of planning, but there is some design there. 2 copies of Rona, the legendary wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life, and we can get her back, but we have to discard 2 cards as well. 1 Keeper of the Cadence. This is kind of because Phyrexian Portal's out there, and people keep throwing it into the graveyard and then bringing it back for only 5 mana with a cheap white spell. So if they throw a portal in there, I want to get this guy out and just put their portal on the bottom of their library so we don't have to deal with that. And Phyrexian Portal is just one example. It could be any number of things. Anything with Unearth maybe we want to throw to the bottom of their deck, that kind of stuff. And we have one illicit shipment, so if we need a particular kind of removal, like if we have one card in our hand, Fires of Victory is not going to take out a 7/7 creature. But if we use illicit shipment, maybe we can go search for Rona's Vortex, throw that to the bottom of their library, or maybe if there's like a horde of creatures facing us, we'll go look for a Burn Down the House and use that for a board wipe. We have 2 of those for board wipes. Our expensive spells, we have one Explosive Singularity. It costs 10. We're looking to get that down with things like the Volsci Tide Turners, with Vadrik, that kind of stuff. Anyway, it can deal 10 damage to any target. And since we're dealing with Brothers War and all these big artifact creatures, that might come in handy. And finally, from the Brothers War, Mythic Legendary, Blade Coil Serpent. You got all these choices. You can spend 6 mana, and you can spend more if you want. But it's always going to be a 5/4 creature. If you spend 2 of the 3 mana sources, right? 2 each. 2 blue, 2 black, 2 red. Here's what you get. You get to draw a card, you make your opponent discard a card, and your Serpent gets +1 to his power, gains trample and haste until end of turn. Now the cool thing is, if you've got a bunch of dual lands with all sorts of different options, and you cast the Serpent, it's going to automatically choose all 6 colors to be 2 blue, 2 black, and 2 red without you trying. The auto choices will be correct. If you want to do it differently, you got to do it manually. So let's say you have 8 mana, and 4 of them are blue. You can cast this. You're going to draw 2 cards. And the key thing is, if the game lasts longer and you got a lot of land, and you want a place to sink your mana into, you can do whatever you want. If your opponent has lots of hands, you can spend it on the black mana, make him discard. If you need more cards, you can spend it on the blue and draw more cards. If you got red to spare, you can just pump them up with power and go hit the opponent in the face. So that's the deck. We're going to go play another match to demonstrate more of it in action. And since we just won a match, we're probably due to lose a match. So my playtesting of this, pretty much every time I win a match, I lose the next match. But if we can get cards in the right order, it pops off quite nicely. Okay, so we've got blue. We're going to need red and black. Let's start with a black mana source, I guess. No, actually, yeah, because we got Ottawara. We'll just use that as our blue source. And we got some cheap stuff coming at us. Let's do that first. We'll see if they want to spend removal on a 1/3. They do not. Alright, let's go ahead and bring down the next little thing. We just need one more mana source, and with the Tide Turner we can actually kick this. Make him a 2/2 with Menace. That's not good. And we missed our land drop. You little pukes. You little pukes. You can just bring him back when he dies. So this is a good combo for them. Morbid Opportunist is another good card for them. Okay. Now we can kick this. We draw 2. They lose 1. With my luck, it'll be something with Unearth. Or another Clay Revenant they can just bring back and automatically have it attach. Oh no, they get rid of Gix's command. Nice. Okay. Okay, they tap out for that, which is good for me. Because I don't want them to have the draw card advantage, so the Morbid Opportunist is going away. And that's all we're going to do. It just brings it back instead. Okay. But he doesn't have haste. He's got menace. How do we want to do this? Okay, he's tapped out now. Let's do it while he's tapped out. He gets one card draw out of it. He's just really based on getting everything out of his graveyard. I need my wizard. Actually, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just do it this way. At least gets Cormela out on the field. Deal 5 damage to that one. And we put 3 counters on the egg. Knew he was going to do that. He's not running out of creatures because he has full access to his graveyard, and that's his entire battle plan. I'm kind of hoping he attacks so that I can get a good hit in with the Blade Coil Serpent. I don't care really about the 1/2s. I didn't really include anything to destroy artifacts in this particular deck. Kind of ran out of options. He's got enough mana. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. How many do we want to do here? 8? No, we can't do 8. 3, 6. I can't. Okay, so I'm just doing 6, I guess. Oh, I can't use Cormela. I'm doing a creature here. Okay, so they choose a card to discard first. It's yet another Clay Revenant. We draw a card. All it is a stupid land. We can put down this, and we can attack with our 6/4. they take it. And I'm already out of ammo. Another Gix's command. Made me sacrifice the one with the highest power. And I'm going to have to take that 5. And all I would need really is my one wizard that throws things onto the bottom, and I would get rid of everything. Okay. Oh, you know what? This should work. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I tap that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. I can just submit 0, right? Hit you for 10. Auto pay. Transform my egg. I thought I was going to be in trouble. You can sacrifice something, but unless you got removal against my dragon, £10 there. And you can't block a flyer. 14 points in one turn. Who needs another wizard? It just takes me a minute to figure things out, that's all. All these pesky people getting into their graveyards. We won two matches in a row with this particular deck. That is not the way it's been going with my playtesting. Okay. Tap land comes down. Green white Selesnya? No, we've got blue in there already. Maybe a domain deck. Let's see what we're up against. Nothing that we can get rid of. Broker's Ascendancy, Rabble Rousing, and Automatic Librarian in a bunch of lands. Okay. So we're playing against a Broker's deck. Here, we'll just kill you now. And they just top deck what they need. We can kill it with this without drawing a card. They get to draw a card though. So do they want to use Bosiju as their land, or did they get another? They got another land. They're going to use it now. That one was there for us to draw a card later. We'll go get another blue source. And now they can cast their Rabble Rousing. And they already got another creature. And it's an artifact creature. Let's see. I guess we'll go get Fires of Victory. I need one of your creatures to be a non-artifact creature someday in this deck. Alright, so now they get to create things. I'll block if he wants to attack with that, though. That's a fair trade there. And then I finally got a non-artifact creature I can use that on. Karn.
If we must fight, Dominaria's treasures will aid us in our fight.
Land drop. Maestro's Charm is good. 3, 4, 5. It's the right number that I can kick. Draw a card, replace it, and deal 5 damage to Karn. Karn goes bye-bye.
Betrayal closes in from all sides.
Whatever. Get rid of the cat. Eight mana. And he gets a vehicle. Good. Alright. It's time to start building our board. Another. Ouch. Lotus. Okay, now he's going to be able to cast pretty much anything he wants to. What do we got here? He can draw a card with that. Let's just nip that in the bud right now. We'll go get another red mana source. And we'll go ahead and hit him for 2. Let's see, what does this guy do? He's Vigilance. I can block him. If he gets the Menace, though, that's 5 points that I can't block. Oh, never mind. Is that a 3rd win in a row? Did we just win 3 in a row? That is completely not what my experience has been. I've played this deck about 3 different nights. We're doing good. Let's just go in and show you the deck one more time. The Glamour Thief. We didn't get to show you every card, but we did get Blade Coil Serpent out and Explosive Singularity in the same match. That was kind of fun. And you saw I was able to tap her and add the 3 mana, and that was just enough for me to cast the Explosive Singularity. So she paid her way. We didn't get to see every card, but a lot of these are older cards, like Siphon Insight. Do you really need to see that? I'm sure if you've been watching any kind of content or playing the game yourself, you know about Electrostatic Infantry, right? Sure. My wall is not showing up, really. Yeah, we got, in the 3 matches that we did, we got to see pretty much all of the others. So hopefully you got a good feel for the deck. Go ahead and leave a comment if you want me to play some more of these, if you want to see more of this particular interaction, or if you've got some suggestions on how you think the deck should be, if you don't like the number of cards or the particular cards that I chose to use, that kind of thing. I've grown accustomed to seeing some of your comments and suggestions. You guys usually have some good suggestions on what to do with the decks and how to improve them and stuff like that. So I appreciate that. So we're going to leave it there. Remember to like and subscribe. Come back next time. We'll have a different deck for you. And this is Travis signing off saying thanks. Have a good one.